The Rock Metal Podcast, episode 219 with Owl Company. All right, Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was Shattered Dreams by Owl Company, who I've got on the show with me right now. They've got a new album called Iris, set to release via Eclipse Records on November 9th. Right now I'm being joined by Enrico Minelli to share some stories about the music and share more info about the band. So Enrico, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, man. It's a huge pleasure.
Absolutely great to have you guys on. Let's go and listen back to that track, Shattered Dreams.
Shattered Dreams.
All right, come back from Shattered Dreams. As I was saying that, I was like, oh man, we have such an uplifting intro, and we'll go right into Shattered Dreams. But definitely a killer track. Great first single. What is the story or inspiration behind Shattered Dreams?
I had this idea. This is kind of like the Shattered Dreams. I had this riff for like a long time, and so I shared with the guys from the band, and we were talking like back and forth, like just like exchanging ideas. And one day I came out with the melody for it, and it stuck in my head, you know. And I was like, dude, we need to do this song like as soon as possible. So I have a kind of like a home studio here in Brazil, in my house. So we just like demo it just to have it, you know. And so like for the next like 6 or 7 months, we just like kept listening to the song, and like things start like to get, you know, good. It felt good, you know, for a while. And then we're like, I think the song was kind of ready. So we showed the song like to Matt Wallace, and he was like, dude, this song is definitely needs to be on the record, you know. So it's kind of like pretty much it, you know.
Wow. Lyrically, how did the content of the song come about?
Like this whole album, Iris, the first album we have, Horizon. It's more like my father is from Italy, and he was born in 1926. So right now he's 92 years old. So he used to tell me all these stories about the Second World War. So the first album, Horizon, is more like about him. Is about his personal view of the World War and the thing that he was passing. You know, that he passed, and his family as well. And to the Iris is more like it's like my view. I lost like a couple friends in the past 2 years, and I lost my mother as well. And this is more like my point of view, like missing this is a big piece of my life, you know. This friend, he used to be a great friend for me, and when he died, I got really, you know, it really shocked me, and so I want to like to have like all these feelings, and I started to write, you know. And basically like the whole concept of Iris is more like it's about it, you know, the grief, you know. And for me, like makes me feel good like to talk about it, you know, because I couldn't talk about it. So when I started like writing and like composing all these lyrics and stuff, it helped me out a lot, you know.
Fabulous. All right, so for Rock Metal Nation who dug the track Shattered Dreams, will be happy to know there is a music video that they can watch. So if you go to today's show notes, that's www.therockmetalpodcast.ca. You can see the music video for Shattered Dreams. So, and Rico, why don't you mind taking us through the production of the music video?
That was crazy. That was like, we had like just 1 week to finish the whole video and send to Chris to release the video, and we were like in the middle of like 3 or 4 ideas. So I used to have a studio back in my old house, and like the walls are all painted in red. So I was like, dude, come over, everybody here. Let's try to put something together really quick. And then I go to After Effects, and I'm going to try to do a clip out of it, you know, a video. And it turned out great, you know, like we came with a concept, me and the guitar player, Bruno, and we like it in the end, you know. It was surprisingly pretty cool, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go listen to the next track, Rise.
Something drives me to you.
Rock Metal Nation, it's John from the Rock Metal Podcast for a real quick break to let you know that Jay over at Metal Mayhem Radio is looking to help you get your band in rotation on his station. So go ahead and hit up Jay at studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. That is studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. Just go ahead and say that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. He'll get you into rotation on Metal Mayhem Radio. All right, coming back from Rise, another killer track, very soulful, lots of emotion in that one. What's the story or inspiration behind Rise?
Rise is about like this phase that happens a lot here in Brazil, and I think all over the world. The exploration of faith, of it having a bad faith and exploring it, that happens a lot here. Like this, we have like a bunch of churches and like cults and stuff, and they like take all the money from the believers and stuff. And this makes me so mad, man. And this song is more like about you're kind of like you're your own God. You're like the God of your actions. So just pay attention to it and do it. Be a man. Step up. It's kind of like it.
No worries, yeah. And for Rock Metal Nation who dug the track Rise, will be excited to know that there is a lyric video available. So if you go to today's show notes, that's www.therockmetalpodcast.ca. You can see the lyric video for it. Now, a lot of times it's pretty simple, just lyrics on a screen, but a lot of times it's deeper than that. So, Enrico, if you wouldn't mind taking us through the production of the lyric video.
The lyric video was we want to have 2 videos out of our 3 singles. So the first one was the Shattered Dreams. Then we had the Rise. Rise, we already planned. We kind of had a video plan for it. We didn't have time to do it, so we just bet our chips to the antagonist. That's gonna be our 3rd single. So we used some of our image bank or whatever, to build up this video for the antagonist. That's going to come out on next month. So we're pretty excited with it as well. It's a cool lyric video. It's just like a static of the cover of the album cover, and I think the song is pretty cool.
Cool. All right, now for Rock Nation who has dug the tracks they've heard so far, Shattered Dreams, Rise, are you excited to know there's a full album called Iris coming out on November 9th via Eclipse Records. Now, Enrico, you did mention that Iris is about grief, it's about emotion, but I'm curious if you wouldn't mind, when we pick up the album Iris, what should we expect?
Probably a very... It's complicated to say, man, because it's kind of like my baby, we did the whole thing since the beginning. I care a lot about all the songs and stuff. So you probably will hear our truth. It's. I think that's it. That's not much to talk about it. I think it's being translated.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Next logical question on Rock Metal Nation's mind is, how can we find out more about you guys? Is there a website that we should go to?
We have Facebook. We have Instagram, Twitter. We're we're all on all the social medias, and just Google our company, you see a bunch of stuff, and that's it.
Awesome. All right. Well, Enrico, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and share.
Of course. It was a huge pleasure. Thank you so much for having us. It's amazing.
All right, Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully just found your new favorite band in Owl Company. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation!